Okay, so I just had a thought about this whole Mandela effect situation, the James Earl Jones, passing away again. I think this is three times now, but I had this thought. So, what if this is just like NPC type filler background information that's like always been running on a loop, right? I'm saying this because I'm hearing some people comment like they thought he died in the 90s. Some people thought he died just 10 years ago. Some people said no, he actually died yesterday. They saw him. Like one dude said he saw him 3 months ago. Okay, dude. Okay. But I'm just thinking like almost like the Truman Show, right? Like this isn't new. Like maybe he did, maybe they've been running this like on a fucking reel, like as a background that's like, it's like, it's like it's psychological. It's psychological. Like it's to keep you like emotionally. Because I mean, like we liked James Earl, whatever his name was. We liked him. I liked him in The Sandlot. I loved that movie. He was iconic. He had the voice. He was iconic, right? But have we really been paying attention to him? Like they put some. You know how they put actors out there, and then like they kind of disappear. Like there's a it's a mind thing. That's a mind fuck, dude. Like because that's what I'm seeing it as a machine. Like they're just doing it with all these different actors. I mean, this is just a level of it too. This is just a level of like the psyop shit. Oh, they might be running this shit on a loop, and we're like catching up to it now. Like we recognize it now. You know? Oh my god, that's so fucking creepy. Oh, my brain fucking hurts.
What the Mandela effect is, right?
Yeah.
There's a theory that's going around that's saying the Mandela effect is a government experiment to see how much they could change our history.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They're working with the big name brands and companies to see if they could change history without us knowing about it. So basically, you know Fruit of the Loom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the big whole Mandela effect is that there was a cornucopia with the fruit on the logo.
Yeah, with the cornucopia, the little brown thing.
Yeah, there is no cornucopia. But like people swear that they seen the cornucopia like years ago. Even Fruit of the Loom brand made a statement saying that we never had a cornucopia in our logo. It's always been just straight fruit, right? But this one TikToker was going crazy. She swore up and down that she seen a cornucopia. They're just lying to us.
Because why would we imagine a cornucopia? Bro?
Exactly, bro. She would go in her closet, look through all the clothes. She would even look in her friend's closet until she found one shirt that had the cornucopia logo on it.
Did Fruit of the Loom respond?
They didn't say nothing. Everybody was just in shock because everybody thought she was crazy. And what they're saying is that the government is working with them to try to see how much of history they can really change. And they're basically gaslighting us. We're not
Professional gaslighters.
professional gaslighter is crazy, bro.
So did you see the lady that actually proved the Mandela effect as a government experiment?
So she was able to prove this?
Yeah, so one of the most popular Mandela effects is the Fruit of the Loom Mandela effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where everybody remembers there being a cornucopia on the logo of Fruit of the Loom clothing, but apparently there's not.
Yeah.
And this lady was super convinced that there used to be a cornucopia on the logo, but Fruit of the Loom came out and said that they've never had a cornucopia, like basically just calling this lady crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Fruit of the Loom even has a post of all the past logos they had, all the way back to like 1893, and basically they're trying to prove that they've never had a cornucopia on their logo. But then someone came out and they actually have photo proof of this, that they found a piece of clothing in their closet with a cornucopia on the Fruit of the Loom logo. And then after this, people did more digging, and they actually found newspaper articles talking about Fruit of the Loom and how there's a cornucopia around it.
So this is like the first Mandela effect to really be confirmed?
Yeah, then they literally found government documents of the Fruit of the Loom company mentioning a cornucopia, showing that the cornucopia has been a part of the company. So they can't say it's never existed, right? And since this lady has been able to prove this Mandela effect wrong, people now think that the government has been using the Mandela effect to try to see how much history they could erase without the population knowing.
Man claims to be able to see into a parallel dimension with
Okay, real quick. So y'all don't think I'm crazy. Me, my brother, and my sister, I'm gonna throw them in there. They crazy, just as crazy as me, okay? We have been having this conversation about the Mandela effect. Now, I used to hear a lot of people on this app talk about jumping timelines and the Mandela effect, and I always scroll like, oh, they doing some witchcraft stuff, right? So, but the actor that just passed away, James Earl Jones, my sister was laughing about it because she like, child, that man been dead. And I was like, was he? See, this is some dirty work. I'm going to show y'all how dirty this is. So then I seen this other lady on the app. She was talking about how, remember he wasn't, and my brother said it, he wasn't in the second coming to America because they said he had died or whatever. But then they also did a tribute to him. So you know me, I'm like, I need to go to the Bible because this stuff will make you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. People really probably do think I'm a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? So I goes to the scripture. Me and my brother was going through scripture. The first scripture is Matthew 24:22. If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive, but for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. I'm thinking when I read this that God is going to shorten the days, meaning he going to come quick. Boo-boo, let me read another scripture. Okay, so 2 Thessalonians 2:7, for the secret power of lawlessness is already at work, but the one who now holds it back will continue to do so till he is taken out of the way. So in conversation, my brother brought up how CERN and the different portals were being opened up. And I don't for a chance believe that the thing that happened at the Miami Mall was just by chance. Catch it. But what they are doing is unlocking spirits and demons. They are unlocking things and bringing them into our reality. And this is against God. And this is why we are experiencing things. It is causing the spirit realm to have to shift because of these evil, demonic people, the big wigs, the upper echelons, the portals and things that they are opening up, and they are connecting. Humans are connecting to these fallen angels. And that's why if you see my other video that I did before that, they didn't had the police departments had now they got a handbook. If people start seeing these things, catch it, on earth, how to handle it, because they already know that they are trying to shift these things into our reality. Y'all, I know this is what gets me. This part right here. The biggest thing is they know what's coming. They know that Armageddon has to happen. So, and this is just a theory, Saints. This is for educational purposes only, okay? They're allowing these fallen angels to come into our reality to shift things because they're calling on these things, and I know this sounds super crazy, but it's because of what's coming, because they know that the Armageddon is coming, and they're just trying to shift the earth, and they're trying to shift the world. A lot of this is hard for most of us to perceive or to even receive it, because everything that we've been taught on earth in the earthly realm has been totally against what is really happening. It has been lies upon centuries, even history is lies, okay? So it's hard for us to shift our perception of the reality of this, that this is for real, that we are spiritual beings, because everything we know is humanity and human and what the world has created for our reality, which is really not the reality, which is deception of what the Bible has been talking about this whole time. Back on the scripture of 2 Thessalonians 2:7, for the secret power of lawlessness is already at work, but the one who now holds it back will continue to do so till he is taken out of the way. Let that sit on your brain, okay? The word of God is good to me. It's a little messy, but it's good to me. That's all I'm saying. I don't like the word jumping timelines. I don't like the word Mandela effect. I like to say God, in his word, says he is shortening the times. Child! And these people is redying. Who keeps redying? What is happening? Is it me? It can't be just me. It ain't me. I know y'all gonna think I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for this whole explanation. I'm gonna let y'all figure it out.
I know you've heard of the Mandela effect, and if you haven't, please look it up. Now, with Mandela effects, a lot of times this stuff rolls right off my back. You know, it is what it is. It's not moving me. But there's one Mandela effect that really gets to me. Like, really gets to me because it's just so ridiculous. And that Mandela effect is going to have to be the JFK assassination. And I'm going to tell you why. This Mandela effect went into, like, play probably, like, 4 years ago. But I remember it only being 3 people in that car. That middle row did not exist. And, like, let's be real. How many cars have y'all seen that got rows like that? What kind of car is this? It's like, what, a minivan, sedan? It was the driver, Jackie, and JFK in the car, not that middle row. So this middle row is, at the time, this was a Texas senator and his wife. And I don't know, I just never seen a car like this. And this is not what it was given when I was taught this in school. This is not CERN. What's going on? Is it CERN? Is this a CERN thing? This will be a CERN thing. Now y'all explain to me why the car in the museum only has 2 rows like I remember it, right? But all the photos have these magic 3 rows. Like, y'all messed up with this one, CERN. Y'all didn't do y'all due diligence. Y'all didn't scrub it down right because y'all left some remnants of the past. When y'all switched it up, y'all left y'all remnants. Y'all left some crumbs behind. Because what is this? This how I remember it. Do you?
So, y'all, I'm sitting here minding my business in my house coat, cozy. I got the heat on, rub my feet together, and I stumbled down this rabbit hole, y'all. And let me tell you, I am glad I did, because what? So, my auntie works at a place where, they send people who they think are one of those institutions, right? So she was telling me about this lady that they had there that was there because she was making claims of being from a different timeline, a different dimension, and somehow stated that she just woke up in 2024, right? Okay, you following me? Keep listening. So this lady came to the institution. She was admitted. They ran tests on her, and long story short, they ended up not being able to find any evidence that this woman was lying in any way, shape, or form. And I mean, every test that they ran and all the evidence that they did find honestly did support everything that she was saying. Like, they could not find a hole in her story at all. So this woman's story goes like this. She wakes up, it's 2024. She's looking around like, where am I? What's going on? And how did I get here? Right? Okay. So she ends up going outside and stumbling upon a stranger who she described as having colorful hair, face tattoos, and piercings, which scared the shit out of her, I can imagine. So she literally is looking around in this futuristic world compared to where she woke up from. And she asks this man, who looks very odd to her, I'm guessing. And she asks him, are you an alien? Where am I? What's going on? So you can imagine straight out of the gate, this man's probably thinking like, lady, who are you? Are you crazy? Like, go away. She proceeds to start telling this man, I am from the 80s. When I went to sleep, it was 1984, I believe they said. And what year is it now? What's going on? This man proceeds to tell her, baby, it is 2024. Like, did you bump your head before you went to bed? Because it's not the 80s. It hasn't been for quite a while. So the guy proceeds to ask her multiple questions about different things like the Mandela effect and so on and so forth. So he starts asking her questions about like the Bernstein Bears. You know, like, I guess the Bernstein Bears, you know, like, were spelled different. And so he asked her, how did he remember them, and how did she remember them being spelled? She responded that she remembered the Bernstein Bears being spelled with the A. That's number one, with the A. Which would mean that she wasn't from today. She was from back then when it did have an A. Then he proceeds to ask her about Nelson Mandela, you know, the whole gist of the Mandela effect. And she tells him, yes, Nelson Mandela is the president in South Africa. At least when I went to sleep, he was. He's not dead. This man is still very much alive. So he's asking her all these different questions, and she literally gets every single last one of them correct for her being born or going to sleep in the time period that she said she went to sleep in. Okay? So, at this point, the man is intrigued. So the man shows her TikTok, and they get on TikTok together, and she kind of goes down this whole rabbit hole of like different dimensions, timelines, and she's 100% convinced that somehow she ended up switching timelines. When she went to sleep, she woke up, it's 2024, she does not want to be here, and she needs to go back ASAP. So luckily this woman had shelter, because the house that she woken up in was a house that her family owned, and apparently it was still in her family in 2024, because that's the house that she woke up in, and so that is where she was staying at. So she goes back home. This woman goes down like this whole long rabbit hole of like conspiracy theories, trying to figure out what happened and how can she get back home, to the point where she is like obsessed with it. She's starting to go crazy with it. Like, this is all she's doing every day, every single day. She's saying she has a husband, she has children, and she needs to get back home ASAP. You know, she got a family, and it ain't no reason for her to be in 2024 all alone. You know, so this woman, long story short, ends up going crazy with these conspiracy theories, and then one day she walks into a scientific research center where she's located, and this woman basically has a whole plan devised of this device she needs made in order for her to go back to the 80s. So that does not go over well, of course. You know, the police ended up being called, and she kept coming back day after day, and, you know, which eventually led to her being instituted. Like, they put her in a crazy house where she met my aunt. And she told my aunt her whole story. There's a lot of details and things that I'm leaving out. You know, if y'all want them, I have to put it in a part 2. But, yeah, which is where she met my aunt, though. So she confided in my aunt, telling her, you know, her whole life story, everything that was going on, and, you know, how she was determined to make it back home, and she just did not understand or could not understand how she ended up here to begin with, but she was determined to make it back home. She had to make it back home to her family, her kids, and at this point, that was like her life's mission. This video is already too long. If you want to know what happened after that, then I'll do a part 2. Or if you have any questions about anything that I left out in this part, then yeah. But to me, that was just so crazy, and it made me kind of start going down a rabbit hole and going crazy too, because I started thinking, like, what if she's in line? Like, so many people just like to say that these things are lies, but what if this lady is not lying? Like, we have seen weirder and crazier things happen in this lifetime, and how did she get here? Because I want to go to sleep and wake up in a different time too.
I have another Mandela effect that's going to blow your mind. This time it's about the Macarena. Yes, the dance that everybody knows, everybody's danced it, everybody's heard the Macarena before. Just to go over it quickly, the Macarena. Correct or incorrect? To me, that's how I remember the Macarena dance. Well, the Mandela effect is at it again. That's not how the Macarena dance is danced. 2 of the original videos of the Macarena dance that came out in the early 1990s now have a different dance. It's pretty much similar, but there's a few steps that are left out. Check it out. So as you can see, the steps going from here to this, and then the cross across the chest, that doesn't exist anymore. Again, one of the original videos released in the early 90s showcasing the Macarena dance, and those steps are missing. I need you to let me know in the comments, what version of the dance do you remember? Do you remember it with the arms crossed, or does that step never exist? Here's the weird thing though. When you look up the Macarena dance on YouTube, almost all of the tutorials that show you how to dance the Macarena have the crossed arms. Done some research into where the Macarena dance came from, and the first time that the Macarena dance came out was that first video that I showed you. And you would think that the Macarena dance would be based on the dance that originally came out for the song. So what happened? Make sure you tell me what you think in the comments, like this video, and follow me for more crazy Mandela effects. It's time to wake up. Stay blessed.
Guys, I'm kind of freaking out right now because I've tried to film this. This is my 4th time filming this video. I tried to film it on TikTok 3 times, and now I'm in my camera filming it because every single time that I film it, it just closes. Not the app, but like I'll press check and then it'll just delete the whole video. Or it'll only get to the point when I start explaining my story, and then as soon as I start explaining it, then it like just deletes the recording. So you know the Mandela effect thing, okay? So the girl that had the fucking antique, and then she moved, and then she found another one, and she only bought one, but they had the exact same markings, and she was like, how the hell did I get 2 of these? There were only 1. So I'm going to get in bed. I see on my bed my AirPods. I see them there, and I'm like, I'm coming for you later. Okay? Put the kiddo to sleep. She is out. She's out. I'm like, it's mommy's time to waste away her sleep schedule on TikTok. I get my AirPods, pop them open, put the right one in, okay? Right one's in. Right one's not connecting. So I'm like, I'm irresponsible, I didn't charge them. That's on me. Let me put the left one in. It's probably charged. Put the left one in, go to put the right one back in. There is a right AirPod in the right slot, but I have one in my hand, and I know I failed math, but I only have 2 of these, okay? So why do I have 3 of these? So I start freaking out. I'm like, it's fucking happening. It's happening to me right now. So I freak out. So I get up. I turn my flashlight on. I'm poor. I found these, okay? I found them. I could not return them could not return them to the owner. Found them. I can't afford 2. I didn't have another one laying around. So I'm like, I know what you're thinking. They're your friends, okay? I don't have a whole lot of friends, but I've only had 2 friends over to my house in the past month. So I call them. I'm like, hey girl, are these yours? She's like, no. Hey, just tell me that they're yours so I know I'm not going crazy, please. Sorry, boo. They're not mine. So then I'm like, well, let me see whose they are. Because, you know, you open them, they have a name. I named mine Steve, because I name all my shit Steve. These are named Steve.
As some of you guys know, James Earl Jones has passed away yet once again. And I say once again because I specifically remember him dying before. You see, this is nothing but what they call a Mandela effect. A lot of you guys are familiar with my work, and I'm going to show you with numbers that this is nothing but an energy siphoning ritual. Now you cannot make this shift up because look at the time it is as I'm doing this breakdown, 6:30, which I always tell you a 6 and a 9 is the same thing, predicated upon what angle that you are looking at it. So you have 6-3 here. James Earl dies at the age of 93, which again, a 6 and a 9 is flipped. And Nikola Tesla says, if you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe. I've already explained that Nikola Tesla is not a real person. He is actually an AI generated individual that is here to take credit for what has been already here, which we all know is free energy, because free energy is all around us. They're just stopping us from ascertaining free energy. Think about what happened to all the people who created cars that didn't need gas, or helicopters that didn't need gas. You know what I'm saying? That's free energy. And not just that, but there's actually people who created a way to get free energy out of the ethers to have electricity in the house, but we all know what happened to them. Just do your research. And if you didn't know, Nikola Tesla was also a Freemason. The pose that he's doing right here, that is called the mark of a Master Mason. And here's another one over here. There's plenty of them. Go look it up. Now, I'm not saying Freemasonry is a bad thing, but these are the people that are put in power to uphold the lie that we are living today, which is basically keeping the true information away from the public. This is why there's a Freemason building everywhere you go, literally everywhere, just like there's a church on every corner. This is all to uphold the lie. Remember, y'all, we live in a simulation, in a matrix. The only thing that's upholding this is the lies. So the lie, you got to keep lying in order to uphold it. All right, James Earl dies at the age of 93. One of the most notable character he is known for, Mufasa, gives you 63, which is again 93 reversed or flipped. So you have the 3, the 6, right? You add those together and you get the 9. You know, the same numbers when it comes to his death. The other character that he is well known for, he plays the voice of Darth Vader in Star Wars. Do you guys remember the most notable line? There's even a Mandela effect about that. Y'all know that, right? And the line goes as followed: Luke, I am your father. This also gives you 63. The 3, the 6, and the 9. Again, his other character, Mufasa, gives you 63, and then don't forget his age, 93. Now I was looking through YouTube and they just released this, right? And the people who released this is E.T. Volt. Now I do believe James Earl Jones have passed away before the first time, like they said, but it's the fact that they have to replay it in our face again. Why? Because that's what the Mandela effect is all about. It's about taking your energy, siphoning your energy. Because as y'all know, where attention goes, then energy flows. Because the true currency in this world is actually your intention, your mind, your consciousness, your awareness. Money is just a tool that we accrue to buy experiences in this world. It's not real. That's why the media always got to try to grab your attention, because the real currency is your attention. If you're not paying attention to it, who are they talking to? There is really no currency at that point in time. And the currency is the currency, because your body is, 70 to 80% water. You're literally the whole ocean. Do you guys know this button over here? I'm sure as soon as you seen it, you knew this was the delete button on your computer or your laptop, right? This is what Del is. You know what I'm saying? Del. Del is short for delete. I'm sure we all would agree, right? And the reason why I say this is because this right here is 36. Do you know what 36 is? Man, delete. Do you guys see this? Because you already know Mandela, right, is short for man delete. Were you guys aware of this? Because it is men doing the deletion, the erasing of these things, right? And it's making it seem like we are crazy when we knew that these people have passed away before. God isn't the one doing this. It's man. Man delete, Mandela. And then Del, I showed y'all the Del button, Del eat. Y'all see this? Del eat, which is the ET that this video was on YouTube today. And again, it goes right back to his age, 93. Mufasa, 63. Luke, I am your father, 63. Now let me cap this off with his whole name, y'all, okay? His whole name is James Earl Jones, all right? Let me show you why this is a energy siphoning ritual. And here we go over here, y'all. Siphon ritual also gives you the same numerical value as James Earl Jones. Siphon ritual 46, and his name gives you 46. Oh, look at this here. Y'all remember Rich Homie Quan that just passed away a few days ago? Why does that give you 46 as well? Y'all see that? And y'all remember he died at the age of 34, right? 34. So why does James is alive give you 34, right? And then the character Mufasa that he played gives you 34 backwards, or 43, right? Even the place where he was born, Pauling, New York, right? Check this out. Pauling, New York gives you 33. You see that? Rich Homie Quan died in Fulton, Georgia. And you see what Fulton equals? 33. You have the 3, the 6, and the 9. And we already know how Freemasons are with the number 33. You already know. So Rich Homie Quan gives you 46. James Earl Jones gives you 46. Siphon Ritual gives you 46. And then we are in the year of the dragon, aren't we? Right? The year of the dragon 8, which gives you 46. Now, I can go deeper than this and show y'all how all this is connected with even Trump getting, 34 counts of felony. Remember, he was found guilty on 34 counts of felony, but there's no need to. I'm showing you guys we live in a video game, a matrix. And the point of the matrix is to lie to you to continue to siphon your energy. We have been living a lie our whole lives, and there's no different now. The only thing is they're using technology to continue to lie to us. But now a lot of people are realizing it, and this matrix is crumbling down fast. That's why these rituals are speeding up. Pay attention to how many people become unalive or celebrities become unalive around y'all. But let me know what you guys think about this video. This was a lengthy one, but well deserved. It was well needed. Please like, comment, and share. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift, y'all. Peace in.
If the man
effect stuff is getting weird. I just ran across a Mandela effect that literally, I don't even know what to think. At some point, you just have to look at these and be like, yeah, like this is just not right. Because there's no way this one is. And if you're an 80s or 90s baby like me, you know damn well this ain't right. So before we get into it, make sure you like, follow, and share to support your girl. Now, let's get into it, y'all. So like I said, if you're an 80s or 90s baby, you're immediately going to know this is wrong. And of course, I'm talking about the movie E.T. In this movie, there's a specific line that E.T. says. He learns the words home and phone, and he says, E.T. phone home. That simple, right? Well, look at this clip. E.T. home phone. That's not right. It's E.T. phone home. I know it is. There's nothing you can say to convince me it's not. But what's even weirder is listen to what they say after he says that.
E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home.
So you're telling me that E.T. said the wrong words, but the kids repeated the right words to him. Okay, that's what we're doing. Yeah, no, it's E.T. phone home. How would the kids know to say that if it wasn't? So why they change his words and not theirs too? What do y'all remember? Because I know I ain't the only one.
I'm going to show you guys video evidence of the Mandela effect. But what is the Mandela effect? It's a very strange phenomenon where a large group of people remember a past event very differently from what is believed to be today. For instance, Nelson Mandela, he died in 2013, but a lot of people remember him dying in the 1980s. The same thing with Looney Tunes, and the same thing with the Monopoly guy, and the list goes on. But how do we explain such a thing? A lot of people believe that we're not living in the same alternate reality that we were in 10, 20, 30 years ago. But what happened? Why? And when? And why? Is there any video evidence of such a thing? An internet account by the name of the Thought Police has been recording strange videos with this very old phone. And a lot of people believe that this old phone is actually capable of recording glimpses of this alternate reality that we do not live in anymore. Here's one, for instance. I'm going to show you guys a couple of videos, starting with this one from Britney Spears. A lot of people remember her using a plaid skirt in this video clip, but she's not using a plaid skirt anymore. Here he goes with the phone camera, the plaid skirt. She never used the plaid skirt. In this video clip, for instance, a lot of people remember Britney Spears using a microphone. Here he goes with the camera, the microphone. But she never did use a microphone. What is going on? The same thing with the laughing cow cheese. See how he passes his finger in front of the camera to prove this is not CGI. This is not a camera trickery. You see? Check that out. What is going on here? The same thing with the Monopoly guy. He's using a monocle. I remember him using a monocle, but he never did. If you search for Google, if you Google search him, the Monopoly guy, it says that he